भारतीय जनसंचार संस्थान के 50वें दीक्षांत समारोह में हम आप सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन और स्वागत करते हैं। इन 50 वर्षों में संस्थान ने पत्रकारिता के शिक्षण और प्रशिक्षण में कई नए आयाम गढ़े हैं और लोकतंत्र के चौथे स्तंभ के लिए पत्रकार प्रहरियों को तैयार करने में एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। पिछले 1.5 वर्षों में संस्थान ने भाषाई पत्रकारिता में भी कई सफल प्रयोग किए हैं, जिनमें उर्दू पत्रकारिता को डिप्लोमा कोर्स से पीजी डिप्लोमा कोर्स में बदलना तथा मराठी मलयालम पाठ्यक्रमों की शुरुआत की है। इसके अलावा दिल्ली केंद्र से FTII के सहयोग से सिनेमा के शॉर्ट टर्म पाठ्यक्रमों की भी शुरुआत हुई है। ये दीक्षांत समारोह अपने आप में ऐतिहासिक है, क्योंकि पहली बार स्नातकोत्तर डिप्लोमा कार्यक्रम के छात्रों, IIS अधिकारी, डिप्लोमा प्रशिक्षकों और विकास पत्रकारिता का प्रशिक्षण ले चुके 18 देशों के 25 मध्य करियर पत्रकारों को भी एक साथ डिप्लोमा और प्रशिक्षण प्रमाण पत्र यहाँ प्रदान किए जाएंगे। हम स्वागत और अभिनंदन कर रहे हैं हमारे आज के मुख्य अतिथि, नोबेल शांति पुरस्कार से सम्मानित और बाल अधिकारों के लिए समर्पित श्री कैलाश सत्यार्थी जी का।
नौजवान दोस्तों, बहनों और भाइयों, अभी तो सब लोग जल्दी जल्दी भागने के मूड में है ना। It's a party time. Everybody has to hug each other and kiss and enjoy this evening. And actually you begin even before you have taken your degrees or diploma, congratulating each other. So let me begin with congratulating all of you and your parents, your teachers. You are fortunate that you are having your diploma in hand today. But I recall when I was supposed to take my degree of engineering from University of Bhopal, I missed the chance. Of course, I have a degree, and now so many universities have conferred upon me the PhDs, honorary PhDs, DSCs and whatnot. But that day when my degrees were being conferred to the students, I was busy with something very important. You were thinking that I might be busy in freeing children from slavery or organizing the march. No, my dear young friends, I was busy with a very beautiful girl. And that beautiful girl is sitting now as my wife and the mother of children. It was very difficult those days to fall in love with someone. I know that you are waiting for a party with your girlfriends or your boyfriends or friends, but in my case, so many years ago, it was too difficult. The difficult reason was that I was an engineer and my girlfriend was a journalist. So having a journalist girlfriend is not an easy job. She was the deputy editor of a fortnightly magazine in Delhi, and I was studying, almost completed my course in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. So today is a very special day for all of you. A special day for many of the students who came from different countries. I have been invited to give away the PhDs and DSCs, etc. degrees in the prestigious universities in India and abroad also. But Sureshji, this is the first time when I gave diploma to the students from I think 10, 15 different countries. 18 different countries. Congratulations. But I was so influenced with my wife that I gave up my career as electrical engineer and started a magazine in Delhi. The reason was not simply that I was influenced by her, but I knew the power of journalism, the power of words, the power of thoughts, the power of communication. And since you possess that power, before coming here, today, and when you go back to your home countries or home cities, the power of words. I was passionate about the issue of child laborers, child slaves back in 70s or so. But those days it was a non-issue. It was a serious problem. Nobody was talking about it. And the senior journalist may know that no single article has been written in any newspaper in 70s. India did not have its own law. Internationally, people thought and presumed that slavery has been abolished years ago, child slavery in particular. So no research. Even the United Nations agencies haven't yet started any activity against child slavery and child labor. And when I was going and talking to the people, look, this is a serious issue. And I don't consider it a matter of poverty. I did not want to simplify it with the poverty issues. Everybody can simplify any crime with poverty. But I said that if the children are toiling in such situations, it is denial of dignity. It is denial of freedom. Some national newspapers picked up my writings, my articles, but it was too difficult. So I decided to launch my own magazine named Sangharsh Jari Rahega. It was a fortnightly journal and totally devoted for the cause of most neglected children and women and the most marginalized sections of society. And you also know more than me that those days, forget about the human rights journalism, even the humanitarian journalism was not yet born as a discipline in our country and most countries in the world. So in 1980, I moved to Delhi and started this magazine in 1981. And how journalism gave me a path and purpose of life. One day, a desperate father knocked my door. His daughter was about to be sold to a brothel. He just wanted to publicize his saga in the magazine. Because whenever I write any article, so I was the chief editor of that magazine, I was the publisher of that magazine, I was the reporter, I was the deputy editor, I was the deputy reporter, I was the photographer, I was the proofreader, because that was one-man magazine. So I was interviewing this guy, and he told me, his name was Wasal Khan. Wasal Khan told that he came to know through someone who was the subscriber of Sangharsh Jari Rahega. So he came with the hope that I am going to publish something about him. He and his newly married wife and some other families were lured away from his native village in Aligarh to work in Punjab, a place called Sarhind, at a brick kiln. It was 17 years ago, he said. And during all those years, neither they were paid anything, nor allowed to leave the place. All children were born and grew up working there, including 15-year-old Sabo, his daughter. And one day, the parents saw that some unknown people came to buy the girl, negotiating the price. The brick kiln owner was asking for more money, and the brothel people were not prepared to pay that much. So somehow this was not materialized. And think of a father. He was so much in pain and so much desperate, he jumped into a brick-loaded truck in the middle of the night without knowing where the truck was going to. And somehow he reached Chandigarh. And then he was knocking every single door for help. Coincidentally, he came across a person who has given him the old copy of my magazine and told that you go to Kailash, he is going to write your story. And perhaps the police or agencies could read and act. Because each time, as a responsible editor, a responsible journalist, I used to write something and then make suggestions to the readers how they can be an active change maker. I used to write the list of some officials or agencies who could help in that particular story. So that magazine became a platform for action. So many people started opposing, writing protest letters or demanding something for those who were deprived of their very fundamental right of freedom. So when I heard him, I started feeling that if you were the brother of this girl or father, what would you do? You're not just going to wait and watch. You will hold the world upside down and make whatever possible you can do. I gave up my pencil and copy, and I told Wasal Khan, I am going to go with you to rescue your daughter. And he shocked, he said that how come? It's not possible, these people are criminals, mafia, they will kill you and me. I said, whatever happens, let it be. So somehow I was able to collect some friends. I requested Sumedaji, my wife, to help with some wedding ornaments so that we can hire a truck and a car and other logistics to go and rescue those people. Somehow we reached there. We were beaten up, thrown out. Wasal Khan was caught. No way. I had to come empty-handed. But not really empty heart. I never believed in giving up. My engineering and later on my journalism taught me to stand by truth. To stand by truth. And I had a strong belief that eventually truth will prevail. So I met some of my friends. One of them was a lawyer, went to the court, and with the help of court in Delhi, we were able to free not only Sabo and Wasal Khan's family, but 36 children, women and men. For many of you, especially for journalists, this is the first documented incident in India or anywhere in the world where individuals, private people, ordinary social worker, even not a social worker, a journalist, had freed slave laborers and especially slave children. And since then I never looked back. My colleagues and I have built an organization, Bachpan Bachao Andolan, and later on Global March Against Child Labor, and now Kailash Satyarthi Children's Foundation. We have been able to free 86,000 children continue with my journalism, after some time, after 4 or 5 years, I was able to get a lot of coverage of this issue in the mainstream media. The human rights journalism was born in India after 80-81, and we could not continue magazine. But still, I feel that there is a journalist inside me. So when I came here and meet you, of course, because of Suresh ji's love and respect, but also some sort of inner connect with all of you, my dear young friends. Journalism is not simply a profession. I began my journalism as a mission to spread the message, to educate the people, to sensitize the people, to hold authorities accountable, to create a sense of citizenship and responsibility, to build the power of truth and justice in the society and make society a better place. That was my mission. And later on I learned that in India, press is the 4th pillar of democracy. It's true. But in all your countries, because all of you come from the democratic countries. So in the democracy, journalism plays very important role. Because democracy is all about distributing the power of governance to the people. And the decentralization of power is not possible without information and knowledge. The knowledge is the first step towards building democracy. Sustainable democracies, inclusive democracies are built on the foundations of knowledge that can eventually bring about transparency in the governance in society and accountability. So your responsibility and role is bigger than anyone else. Because, dear friends, you are the mirror. You are the mirror to the society. How the society functions, a journalist will tell. How the governments, how the corporates work, you are the mirror. If the mirror is dirty, then the faces are dirty. Therefore, I say, for a journalist, the 3 things are needed. I would call it 3F. The first F is fairness. You have to be fair to your subject. You should not be driven by bias. You should not be driven by bad intentions. You should not be driven by revenge. If you are driven by one or other force, then you cannot be a good journalist. The fair writing is beginning. The second F is fearlessness. If you are fearless, perhaps it is not easy. In the world today, there are so many factors, there are so many forces. You could be influenced. There are so many temptations for young people. To remain fair is difficult. To remain fearless is even much more difficult. And the third thing is freedom. So fearlessness, fairness and freedom are the 3 key F's to be a great journalist, which I learned from my own experience, and I'm sharing this experience with you. And that will help not only yourself and your personality, but making your democracies much more stronger, making your societies fairer and fearless. Since you are taking your diplomas and leaving it from here, I know that many of you might have built good relations, good friendship with each other. You are going to miss each other from tomorrow onwards. You are going to take jobs in different places, or some of you are still in jobs. But what are you taking from here other than the degree? Why you are listening to me? Your diplomas are in your hands, you can go back home. But let me share with a story. There is a story in Upanishads. Upanishads are the explanation of the fundamental knowledge which prevailed in India, and that is in Vedas. The Upanishad story goes like that. There was a guru, a teacher living in jungle. Teachers, gurus were normally the portraits of knowledge and wisdom, but also portraits of sacrifice. They symbolize simplicity. So his fame went around, including in the palace. So the king told his son that, Prince, you should go and take some education from this guru. Prince agreed for that. So Prince came with all the paraphernalia, with elephants and chariots and so on, and found that guy in jungle. And this man was working inside or reading something. The door was locked. So Prince knocked the door, and somebody asked from inside, "Who are you?" Prince said, "I am Prince ABC, whosoever name. I am Prince." Then there was a mum inside, silence. Then the prince became a little bit more angry and said, "What are you doing? I am Prince standing outside, please open the door." No answer. 3-4 times it happened. And finally, angry prince went back home and complained the king. The king said, "No, you have to go again." So he went again, thought that better not to go on elephants, go simply. He knocked the door of that saint, his guru. Then the guru called from inside, "Who are you outside?" Prince did not introduce himself as Prince. He said that my name is ABC. Then again there was silence. Prince became very angry and went back home. King resent him and said that, "Go again." This time the young man came. And the question was, "Who are you?" He did not answer. The prince didn't answer. Again, the guru asked, "Who are you outside?" Then the boy replied, "Sir, I don't know who am I. If I knew who am I, then I need not to come here." Prince came all the way, and king had sent him to know who are you. Doors were opened. After a few years, when the student completed his course, so the students were sitting, and then again the teacher asked, "Who are you?" And this young man said, "Agni Masi." That means, मैं आग हूं. I am the fire. That is the identity of a graduated young man, young girl. I am Agni. Today we have just ignited that lamp, fire. Because in our culture, and that goes beyond the Hinduism, that goes beyond any religion, the fire symbolizes eternity. The fire symbolizes infinity. The fire symbolizes immortality, because fire symbolizes energy. Energy cannot be created, energy cannot be vanished. And that's why symbolically when we put fire, we say that we believe in eternity. We don't believe in any boundaries of colors and caste and communities or countries, because we are infinite. We believe that every human being in the world, not only human beings, but every creature on the earth is the part of my family, and I am the part of the family. And that's why we become Agni. But there is another great mantra in the Rig Veda, which is known as the wisdom of knowledge, or the book of knowledge, book of wisdom. The very first mantra in Rig Veda says, which is good for everyone. If it is communal, you can come to me. And I will tell you the meaning also, Sureshji. It says, the first Rig Veda mantra, Agni Vide Purohitam Yajasva Deva Mrityujam Hotaram Ratnadhatma. It means, oh, dear human beings, those who believe in the betterment of the world, not only betterment of one country or one neighborhood, those who believe in the betterment of the entire earth, human family, come together, assemble here. And let us ignite the fire of knowledge together. The together is the most important word. It is not one individual who is going to ignite the fire. Let us together ignite the fire of knowledge that can give light to everyone, that can give light to all, but that knowledge is converted into the wealth. Hotaram Ratnadhatamam, that means prosperity. Let us convert our knowledge to prosperity, and that prosperity is not just for myself, this is the prosperity for all, this is the wealth for all. That is the great ethos. The democratization of knowledge and decentralization of wealth is the very first message of Rig Veda, the very first mantra. So dear friends, today you are going with a different identity. Why you are wearing this scarf? Because your identity is different. Your responsibilities are different than yesterday and than today, this morning. With diploma in your hands, you have become a majestic. The majestic has the fire inside. But from now onwards, your struggle will ignite the fire and bring the fire out of the majestic and make a lamp ignited. So you are not simply the lamp, you are the majestic from now onwards, dear friends. As a journalist, whatever you will create, you are going to create the immortal thing. हमारे यहाँ कहा है, जो लिखा जाता है अक्षर कहते हैं उसे, the letter. Whatever is written or spoken is word, begins with a letter. It could be alphabet, and that it makes a word. And akshar, in Sanskrit, akshar means it will never vanish. Akshar means something which vanishes, and akshar means it will never vanish. So whatever you write, whatever you speak, whatever you tell to your people, whatever you communicate from now onwards, this is not going to finish. That would never end. So be careful in that. And that's why in our philosophy, what we said, what we have been saying, that Satyam Bruya. Whatever you speak, whatever you write, speak truth. So the profession of journalism is walking on a tightrope. You have forces which are influencing you. You have attractions which may influence you. But for the betterment of India, those who are Indians, and for the betterment of Namibia or Togo, wherever you come from, for your own nation, for the whole world, whatever you write and speak, it should be truthful. If it is untruth, then it will make society unfair. It will send a wrong message. There are so many challenges in the world. Global warming is one of them. The violent extremism is another issue. Terrorism. There are so many economic issues. In many parts of the world, unemployment is a serious issue. In this context, if you begin with a journalism which is more compassionate journalism, or I would call the journalism with compassionate intelligence. You have to be intelligent in your journalism, but you have to do your journalism with compassionate intelligence. मैं केवल ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि आप करुणामय पत्रकारिता कीजिए, मैं ये भी नहीं कह रहा हूं कि आप बुद्धिमत्तापूर्ण पत्रकारिता कीजिए, आप बुद्धिमत्ता को और करुणा को मिलाकर पत्रकारिता कीजिए। और यही पत्रकारिता समाज को बेहतर बनाएगी। I came back only yesterday, Sumedha ji and I was the opening speaker and closing speaker of the global conference on child labor hosted by the United Nations agencies, ILO and others. And the Argentinian government day before yesterday. There were 50 to 60 labor ministers, including other ministers, were there, including the 2 ministers from India. So as the keynote speaker as well as the closing speaker, perhaps they didn't have too many speakers to invite as the keynote and closing both. I was in both. I said it there, that we have made so many wrongs. But the biggest wrong we made is that we have neglected our children. Politically, socially, economically. Is it not a shame that only 4.5 days of global military expenditure can bring all children to school for a year? The world is spending $1.8 trillion annually on so-called defense, but what is needed to ensure education for children is only $22 billion annually, extra money. This $22 billion is not a big deal. It is 1/5 of what Americans spend on tobacco and cigarettes. What the Europeans spend on cosmetics, was just 1/6 of that can educate all children in the world. It's not a big deal. It's all about priority. But for many people, ministers who were listening to my speech, they were looking at each other. Oh, it's just a small amount of 4 days military expenditure. Some journalists were asking me. So the journalist should also study. Do your homework before going and talking and meeting to anyone. Before writing any story, if you think that you know everything in the world, you will be wrong. A good journalist is also a good reader. A good journalist is also a good listener. You have to listen and read, and then you can write tiny things. I can't recall, you might recall that there was a famous writer who wrote to his friend that since I don't have much time to write a small piece in few words and sentences, I am writing this long piece, long article, because I don't have much time to write this small piece. So, be precise. That is also a beauty of your writing in communication, and especially in mass communication. So friends, I ask those people that why 152 million children in the world are still toiling as child laborers? Why 60 million children have never been to school? And another 200 million have left schooling before completion of secondary education. Why so many children are dying of hunger and malnutrition in the world? Why the children are becoming the worst victims of wars and violence? Who are these children who are being killed in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Sudan, in some other parts of the world? Whose children are they? They are all our children. But if the journalists don't speak, if the journalists don't write, who will do it? It is not that you just keep on exposing the things, but it is always important that you should create hope in the society. We are living in disillusionment and hopelessness era. If we create watching and reading the things which are of desperation and pain and miseries, and if not solution oriented, which can bring the hope, then we are not going to create a positivity in the society. And that's why it is also very necessary that you as journalists have to write those stories about individuals, about groups and societies in your countries and globally with an international outlook that will create positivity and hope in the society against the despair. Dear friends, I might have taken a little more time and you were not in the mood to listen too much. Were you in the mood to listen? Yes. Raise your hands. The old people are still shy, and that's why I have a full belief in the youth. I've been working with the presidents and prime ministers and governments and chief justices and politicians for all my life, globally. I work across 140 countries, and all those countries are underlined where you came from, all 18 countries. I have my people, my organizations in every country. I have visited Ghana several times, and I am on the forefront in the fight against child labor in cocoa beans production in Ghana and Ivory Coast, and so on. So, dear friends, I can just tell you that I have full faith in youth. I have fullest trust in youth because you are full of energy, you are full of enthusiasm, full of strength, but more importantly, your soul, your hearts and your minds are still unpolluted. You still have the purer souls. You still have an element of idealism. And that's why we have launched this campaign, 100 million for 100 million. 100 million young people in the world are suffering violence, slavery, trafficking, whatnot. On the other hand, out of 3 billion young people in the world, 3 billion of you, hundreds of millions are willing to do something good for the society. They are looking for purposeful, meaningful platform and actions. Some of them become volunteers, some of you write something on social media. Of course, the social media is so powerful that has to be maximized and utilized as much as you can do, as a journalist, as individuals also. So 100 million young people are ready to offer something for the world. So I have launched this campaign called 100 million for 100 million. Let these 100 million young people like you should become the spokespersons, change makers, champions for the cause of 100 million left out sisters and brothers of you, those who are facing violence. They are not responsible for violence, but they are further victimized. So if not you, who can become their voices? Use social media. We have launched it in many countries, 10 countries this year we are launching. Next year 30 countries, another year 100 countries. We will reach out to you. But today, I am reaching out to you, dear friends. The history is never created by those who sit on the fences, and say that, oh, this player is not doing good, and clap for another player. History history is written by those young people in the world who jump inside the ring without caring whether they are going to win or lose. You are those young people. Don't look for your heroes outside on the cinema screen. They are just actors. If you do one good act, then there is a hero inside you. They do good acting and you do good act. Be your own fan. Be your own follower. Because there is a hero inside each one of you. There is a champion, there is a leader inside each one of you. Dear friends, from now, you are fired. Go back and enlighten the world. Are you ready for that? Who wanted to be one of those change makers for the world? Raise your hand. And these people do not want to change the world because they are very educated. Look at them. Who wanted to make this world a better place? Raise your hands. The ambassadors are a little bit shy. I did not say raise your hand. I said raise your hands. Let me see if you have two hands or just one hand. Ready? Ready? Ready. Thank you so much.